I had about 50 grand in winnings, but I spent 40 doing it. So I was, 5 to 10K up.
Because on the first call we ever had, June 2022, you actually wrote out your profit and loss.
Yeah.
You were $8,000 in the positive at that point, but you were consciously aware that you had got full on lucky with the way you were betting.
All this betting stuff started for me in COVID. I was out one night at my local pub in Lakes Entrance with my landlord, Greg, and we were watching a footy game, and he rings up Sportsbet to put a live bet on. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, you got to call in your bets. And he spoke to me like he assumed that I knew what to do. I was like, call in your bets. Oh, you're putting a bet on the game, because the Crows were playing. I'm a Adelaide Crows fan, and they were playing the Saints in up in Cairns, I think. And I actually had a Sportsbet account that had been like 8 years since I used it. I always used to just bet on the Melbourne Cup. That was all I used to do. So the only time of the year I'd ever bet, I might put $100 on it. That would be it. Rang them up and put a bet on, and it just went from there. Then I just got deeper and deeper into the betting stuff, and then found you guys. And there's been a big journey with betting for me over the last sort of 3 years.
You said you put a $2,500 stake on Adelaide women to win the grand final.
Yeah.
And then a $1,800 stake on Melbourne to win the flag.
Yeah.
At $3.75 and $2.50.
Yeah.
Top of my head. But yeah, you like those stakes are huge.
Massive. Yeah.
Compared to probably the majority of the other bets you were doing.
Yeah.
Now, what happened? Like, how were you betting, and did you feel like you became addicted to that, or like, how did that happen? Talk about
it started with the higher stakes. Yes, I was also doing a few same game multis on NBA and AFL. They were always my thing, and I had a classic case of beginners gamblers luck. So the first year, I had about 50 grand in winnings, but I spent 40 doing it. So I was, 5 to 10K up at the end of that. And I was thinking, I'm on a winner here. But at the same time, that's why I got in touch with you guys. And I think it was Tom that I was talking to. I also said, look, that was the message. I think one of the things I said to him was, I know that what I'm doing is not going to be profitable long term, because I'm just having a lot of luck here, and there's not really, man, I was doing fucking 20 leg same gamers on NBA, and I hit a few of them, and then everything you say about how the bookies get you was fucking bang on, because I hit a few of these. One of them was 22 legs, and it was a $50 bonus bet, and I won like $1,900, and I thought I was king dick. They love it when you win, because you're going to keep doing it. And I did that. And then sure enough.
You had a 5K win as well on that call.
Sorry?
You told me you had a $5,000 win. Is that?
Yeah, I had one weekend where I won $5,000 in a weekend on same game multis. There was an NBA. It was a $150 stake of my own money and a $50 bonus. And it was about $5,000 on. It was a 19 or 20 leg NBA same game multi. That was the first one. And then I had two other AFL ones, which was, all up, it was about $5,000.
What were you staking on those?
There was a $50 bonus on the NBA one, which won $1,900. And then there was $50 on the others.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was around $50 that I was staking.
And then you were losing other ones for $50 as well, obviously.
Yep.
Now,
and smaller amounts as well. It would just, it was very random. It was just depend on whatever money I had made from music that month. I would put it into my sports bet, and if I had more money, I'd put a high stake on. If I had less money, I'd put, $10 or $15.
Yeah. So the amount of money in your bank account was determining how much you'd put on the bets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, after you win that money, obviously you were losing too. So talk about win. Profit, I don't know what it was. You came to me saying it was 8. Did you lose all of that, or what happened? Because eventually, a gap between you started the other stuff in November 2022.
The multis. Yeah.
But in the period of not talking about that, what happened in the next 14 months before you came to us again in July 2023?
I kept losing.
Yeah. Well, how much? Little amounts or thousands? You don't know.
I was doing it where it got to the worst point that it got to. I was doing lots of $10 same game multis on AFL, And I got to the point I was losing about $500 a week doing that. That was the worst point it got to. And I know for sure, I didn't track it closely, unfortunately, but I know full well that I would have, that profit that I'd had in the first year would have gone, and I would have been down. I would have been at a loss. And I got to a point where I was like, right, I can't keep losing this money. This is because when I started this stuff, I always knew how important it was to bet with what you can afford to lose. I knew that, and I was always pretty good at that. But then a few wins got me excited and got me just chasing that dragon even more.
So Mike's story is very interesting. He actually went very deep into some personal stories. You can watch the whole podcast here, or if you want to watch other member podcasts, just click here as well.